Today is just after draft day, and as per tradition, I'm going to try to start this league off with what the grand finales match was of the last season. So we're going to have AI versus Moldy Milkers to start this thing. Both teams have already been locked in on what their rosters are going to be for the week. So Moldy Milkers have decided to take the tank bot. AI have decided to take an extra support since they've already got so many tanky bodies. Decided they needed some extra support there to keep them all up. We're going to see how this goes. I'm not going to commentate too much, and we're just going to watch and enjoy. Antarctic Peninsula to start. Our first map of Overbots Season 3 is underway. We're going to see how these extra bots react here. So the thing about these extra bots on your squads that you will see throughout this season is that they are going to be swapping characters. So while they will not be eligible for competing in the All-Star match, and instead will be riding the bench for that, it'll still be 4v4 for that. Here they are going to be very impactful. So it looks like, luckily for Moldy Milkers, they are going to be starting off with a Rhine bot, whereas on the other side, an Anna will be joining AI here. So it is completely luck-based as to what bot you will be getting from your tank or your support there. So going to be able to represent Reinhardt for a little bit here. Our Moldy Milkers, that's a good tank to have selected. Alright, so Reaper and Sim actually going to take out 2. Sigma trading out 1, but that's not going to be enough. A very good start here for the side of Moldy Milkers, going to fully capitalize on this AI squad. The damage just shredding through this triple tank team. Alright, AI is going to come back in here. Doomfist going in a bit deep. He is going to get pinned by that Rhine. Going to get punished for this aggression. However, support and soldier are going to pick off a couple here. So it looks like AI are turning this one. They will eventually cap the point. So AI going to win in the next fight. We have not seen a switch from either of the recommended bots here. So far it looks like Tank 1 is going to be staying on this Rhine for a bit. A great selection. Comes the Rhine pin. It is going to pick up that soldier. You could see Rhine on multiple teams this season. Okay, he is going to... Alright, a very good look here for Moldy Milkers. They are able to retake this just as the percentage points are racking up here for the side of AI. So good fight win there for Moldy Milkers. Yeah, it's going to look to come back in here. Doom going in very deep. Going to get pinned out. Going to drop to the Hanzo. Soldier going to go down next. Great start here for Moldy Milkers. They are cleaning up this fight. Brig able to find the Ana. Sim going to find the Sig, and that is an excellent job by Moldy Milkers, keeping AI at bay here. AI's Doomfist getting a little bit aggressive here. Soldier also going in a little early without a squad, is going to fall for that. Here comes the Ramatra. Might be able to pick up this Brig. So AI not completely out of it yet. They are in fact going to pick up a few with this Ramatra. Ramatra going big here. Only Doomfist and Sigma on this point against this Reaper. See if AI can clean this fight up. I do not know what Sigma's doing. Soldier's going to be back in here, though. And so it looks like AI is going to take this point at the last possible second. And it looks like we will see a first pick change. So they're going to lose that Ana. It's going to swap to the Kiri here on the side of AI. So we do see a swap coming through here for their support. Kiri's going to provide a lot more value than Ana usually in overbots. As we know, Kiri's a very good bot compared to Ana. Usually. Huge shatter coming through. Going to pick up that Sigma. Gonna pick him off. Brig gonna go down though. So Brig for Sig trade. It looks like AI is going to clean this fight up. So Moldy Milker's struggling a little bit here to get in. Reaper gonna get zoned out by the remainder of the team. And that might just be it. You might see one more fight coming through here for Moldy Milkers. Not quite swapping off this Rhine, so they are going to keep this Rhine throughout. Rhine pinning backwards, not a great look at all. Brig's going to fall here. Now Moldy Milkers are in a bit of danger. Can they get the touch? Sigma going to zone out the Hanzo. Here comes the aimbot. Reaper and Hanzo going to fall here, and it looks like we will see AI winning the first point here on Antarctic Peninsula. So, I'm going to try to exclude talking about the support and tank for these teams here, but the cores have completely shifted a bit. No more tank is officially on the side of Moldy Milkers. They have indeed they used to have a triple tank lineup. Now they don't have any tanks on their official roster. They just have triple DPS with the Hanzo, Reaper, Sim, and that support and Brig. And on the other side, instead of going for a triple DPS comp like last season, AI opted to go for a triple tank one this year with Doom, Rom, Sigma, and then having that soldier in the back there. So, Moldy Milker's getting a little bit less lucky here. They are going to pick up the Sigma bot. Not exactly the greatest bot to have on your squad. However, he's doing a little bit of help here. He's going to help bring down this Doom. Kiri going to fall. So some trades going here, but they are actually favoring Moldy Milkers. So, despite having that Sig pick, they will win this first fight. Gonna see some Sigma versus Sigma action here. Official Sigma bot versus the tank bot playing the Sig. The other side, we do have that Kiri being opted for by the support bot on AI. So Sigma just going to do all he can here to keep his team up. AI going for a very quick engage here. Soldier going to pick off that Hanzo. Reaper going to get Sigma. So, okay, so Reaper doing a great job here. Moldy Milkers, despite grabbing that Sigma, they are going to get a pretty good team fight victory there. And they are looking fairly dominant here on the second point on Antarctic. As we can see from the damage numbers, Tank 1 is putting in a lot of work for Moldy Milkers. AI, on the other hand, not receiving too much value from their support, it seems. Alright, Doomfist going to go in very deep. I bet they are looking for him. Doomfist going to go down. Soldier able to pick off the Brig. Sim getting lots of picks here. She will eventually fall. Ramattra going to get a couple here, but I don't think that's going to be enough for AI. So it looks like on the second point, Moldy Milkers cleaning up a very good victory here. So good work by them. Probably going to make this 100-0 against AI. Our only coachless team in the league. Do we see one more touch? Soldier looking like he's going to grab this. However, he is going to get very low as he's surrounded by the enemy team. Are we going to see any more touches come through? We will. So AI going to take one more fight here. Not going to find much, though. And this will be tied up 1-1 going into the next point. So Sigma Pig actually working out quite well here, despite usually being one of the worst tanks in this league. Working out for the tank 1 more than the actual Sigma on the other side here. We'll be heading into this final point. It looks like they are going to opt to swap the Kiri into a Mercy here for this final point. I'm not too sure that's the right decision. However, she might be able to pick up a res. So, Core of Doomfist Rom Sigma Soldier able to find the first point, but struggling a bit there on that second point against this Moldy Milker squad. Both teams looking retooled and ready to go this season, but remains to be seen which one will come out on top just quite yet. They are trading blows here. So, Tank 1 being in that Sigma slot as the most versatile player on the team, because he can swap characters. Alright, Mercy getting very low. She tries to dive in. She will drop to the Hanzo arrows spam. And just not looking ideal here at all for AI, as they are getting put into the blender against this Moldy Milker squad. Very good damage coming out from them. Looking great here for Moldy Milker so far. Really rubbing it into AI. AI, the only team in the league drafted by dice rolls alone. I kind of put the characters in a tier list of sorts for the early rounds and only rolled a d6. That way they would have a chance of getting a good team. They ended up with Ramatra and Soldier in the first round. It seems like a fairly decent picks. But then they ended up with Doom and Sig. That was where the team kind of falters a little bit in their picks. Lots of tanks, but not a lot of good tanks. So we're going to see another support swap coming in here. From that support, it is going to be going to Lucio, trying to find something to help this Moldy Milker squad, or AI squad, excuse me, get it together. So AI not quite doing great. However, Moldy Milker's on the opposite side doing excellent here with this Sigma. Doomfist going to go in fairly deep. Comes the Ramatra. Oh, Brig's going to be the first to fall here, so looks like AI is going to find a fight here. Is getting melted. He will eventually fall, so we will see AI win a fight on this third point. Going to see if they can run it back. I see quite a few ultimates building up here for the side of Moldy Milkers. If they can get anything started. A lot to digest. Doomfist gonna punch back the Sigma a little bit. Here comes this Sim turrets. Gotta be watching out for those. The Dragon Strike is going to get on this Ramatra. Not quite enough damage. Sim getting very low. We're gonna fall here though. It looks like Moldy Milkers are putting in quite enough work here. They might just be able to do it. So they only need to win about one more fight, maybe. Depending on if AI can get back to this point or not. We will have to see. Soldier and Ramatra hurrying quite along, but looks like the rest of their team will be sitting far behind. So let's see if they can get back. So this is our first game of 5v5 Overbots. Not quite sure if I'm a huge fan of it yet. Take a little bit of getting used to here. Brig gonna be traded for Doom. Here comes the Ramatra ult. Gonna give AI a chance to get back here in this fight, and it definitely will as Ramatra picks up 3. So now, if you're on the side of Moldy Milkers, you have to be a little bit worried that maybe AI can run this back on you. Soldiers nearing that ult. Brig about to have the rally though. That could be massive. A massive boon in this upcoming fight. Don't want to give him a foothold though here. See from the stats. Has been very much Moldy Milker's favored, but it could be flipped around here. Alright, here comes this triple tank composition. Around punching into the Sigma. Oh, going to find two. And suddenly AI could very well still win this with that new Lucio joining up. They are going to swap to Brig, though, at the last possible second. I don't know why. So they're going to mirror the Brig. So Brig and Sigma being mirrored in this matchup on Antarctic Peninsula. I have to see what they opt to select in the next maps. It's very interesting to watch those bots swap. Sigma going to have that ult. Can they even touch, though? No, they will not. So AI going to win map 1 between Moldy Milkers and AI. Looking, despite the completely new rosters here, looking very similar to how it did in Overbot's Season 2. Moldy Milkers somehow just not able to put up enough work against this AI squad. They will be heading into map 2 here. We'll see what we get. So we're going to go to Circuit Royale. It should be interesting here with the Sigma on display. Maybe from both sides. We'll have to see what the tank bot selects. He's going to be on offense first, so we'll have to see where that pick is going to go. AI currently leads the series 1-0. The opposite side will be interesting to see what that support picks. We have had pretty much every team opt for a tank bot, except for I had this squad in particular opt for the support bot since it already had 3 tanks. I figured maybe another tank would just be too many tanks. It would result in this team maybe even just getting caught up with the amount of tanks it had and shredded through with lots of damage, front-loaded damage, and maybe the support would be able to help it out a little bit. It has been doing great here against Moldy Milkers so far, up 1-0. However, they did falter a little bit on that second point on Antarctic Peninsula. So AI, not my team, but as the bot team in the league, they are doing quite well here against Moldy Milkers. Reaper going to take out that Ana immediately, though. Very good pick off here from Moldy Milkers. Looks like the Queen is putting in some work here. Hanzo also, so we are going to see this cart begin moving very quickly. For Moldy Milkers, good start for them. Dealing with that Ana right away, so we will already see a third separate tank being played here. For Moldy Milkers, gonna see the Ana again like we did in map 1 on the side of AI. They did eventually swap to Mercy, Lucio, and Brig, so a huge anti coming out from Ana. So that will pretty much just be the fight, I believe. So great work there from AI. Came back in with their triple tank composition. Ana's going to be the only one to fall. She did land a huge anti, though, to start that one off. Alright. Moldy Milker's going to be going through this room for some reason. Alright. Matra going to be onto this Queen very quickly. However, he is going to go down to the Hanzo. Zen coming out from the other side. I didn't even notice the swap. Very good pick coming in here for AI. They do have that Zen on their squad. However, he is going to fall. And so Moldy Milker's eventually able to push through here. It seems to be so. So, very good job by this tank. The Queen pick is an excellent choice for your bot to get. That will be the first point capped here. Here comes the Doom, gonna get right onto that brig. So a beautiful start here from the side of AI. Gonna get an excellent re-engage. Doomfist gonna take out the Queen. And Moldy Milker's getting a little bit held up here in their spawn. Sim gonna come out with these Sims turrets. They could be lethal. Soldier gonna be able to deal with the brig. Doom gonna be able to deal with the Reaper. So, I'm gonna try to remember the most important members on the team, because obviously those core 4 are going to maintain the same. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Pixter does. So a huge ultimate coming out from the Queen, actually going to counteract the Zen ultimate. So great pick here from that tank. It's actually doing a perfect job of countering the pick from AI here, as that ultimate does pretty much just cancel out Zen's completely. And Moldy Milkers are going to continue pushing this payload closer and closer. Soldier going to be up towards that ult. Sigma almost has his own as well. Going to see an engagement on the board here. Reaper going to be capping fools out here. And it looks like Moldy Milkers are going to continue moving. So some ults on the board for AI. Can they get back out here and touch? Is going to be the question. It's very interesting to see how this match is shaping up. Alright, here we go. A touch will be grabbed by this Doomfist. Here comes the Sigma ult. It is going to get 2 in it. Brig getting very low on the outside. She will go down. So looking like a great engage from AI. They are going to be able to deal with the Symmetra with their Zen absolutely popping off. He is one of the best overbots we have in this league, and it is nice when your support is picking him. Oh, but Orisa going to be locked in. That is one of the best tanks you can possibly get. Hopping into the side of Moldy Milkers. See how this works out for them. It is going to begin going up these stairs. Gonna get stuck on this ledge a little bit. Moldy Milkers. Alright, here we go. Gonna push up. Comes the Doomfist, gonna land right in there. Yeah, just gonna need to be able to hold off this Sigma. There is a trade. The supports will be missing from this fight. However, Orisa, the only thing left alive here for the side of Moldy Milkers, they are gonna be pushed out by this AI squad. So this triple tank roster putting up quite a fight against this much heavier in damage squad. Macho going to be forced to use his Nemesis form, as Orisa does find him. She is kind of getting staggered here a bit, though, as she is all alone. She is going to go down, so very unfortunate push by that. Orisa might lead to her team being in a rough spot here without her, so they're going to have to do it without their extra bot. Sim going to take out the Doom. Zen going to go down too. Can Moldy Milkers push through this? I'm not quite sure. It doesn't look like it. Looks like they are just going to get deleted. So Moldy Milkers doing an excellent job with their triple tank. Or AI doing an excellent job with the triple tank. Excuse me. I'm so used to Moldy Milkers having that Ramatra and Doomfist. It is very odd seeing it on the opposite side of the field here. But AI able to clean up. And that is all AI will have to push to in order to win this one. So backs are already against the wall in this series. You're down 1 of your Moldy Milkers. Gonna have to hope on a glorious defense from your squad if you want to even this up at 1 apiece. So far, AI's dominance looking to continue to Season 3 here. Gonna see if this squad can measure up, though. Soldier, as we know, a very dominant piece of Rush Hour last season, is now mixed in with a triple tank composition, so seems like a very good core when you think about it. Sigma, not the best tank out there, but putting an extra body in front of that very dominant Soldier does seem like a great decision. Looks like we will be running a ROM mirror here, so the Milker's bot is going to opt for the ROM in this position. It could be a boon for Moldy Milkers here, or a bust. We'll have to see soon. Does seem like a good pick here on circuit. See if it pays off for them. Gonna see a ROM mirror now. Doom immediately getting that brig, doing a great job. Zen gonna be picked off, but he does find that Hanzo in the meantime, so not exactly the worst pick here. Sim gonna go down to the Doom. Ramatra gonna be found, so good start here for AI. Able to deal with tank 1. Proving that he is Ramatra. You are just the imposter. And Moldy Milker's gonna come in for another contest here. AI looking very strong already in their opening debut, despite having the team that was completely rolled for. Hanzo gonna find Zen. Of course, there were parameters that made this team almost certain to be at least decent in my mind. Doomfist gonna get on this Ramatra. So all that's left is the Reaper and the Ramatra for this Moldy Milker squad on this first point. Can they get enough done to keep themselves in it? Doesn't seem like it. Rom just staggering himself out here. This tank 1 will fall eventually. And AI looking to take this third point. They're gonna swap the Zen to the Moira. Gotta wonder if that's gonna be a boon or a hindrance. Will be a lot of support for these 3 tanks though. So, gonna see them begin pushing up this hill. Here comes the ROM. He pops that Nemesis form a little bit early. Doom with a massive meteor strike. Gonna be able to help find that brig. Moldy Milkers looking like they're crumbling here a bit on circuit. Looks like the Nemesis form is missing those punches, so not exactly ideal here. AI gonna continue pushing this payload. Very much looking like AI is gonna go up 2-0 in this series. Moldy Milkers have been struggling. Triple tank comp, just so much sustain to deal with. Plus that extra support. And the Soldier 76. Really difficult team to deal with here, but here we go. Moldy Milker's going to get one more engaged. The Ramatra ult is online, though. He does get very low. He gets focused down, so Reaper able to take him out. And it looks like Moldy Milkers are going to win this one, so nice to see a fight win here. Sigma behind them. Just getting killed by this turret slowly but surely. He will eventually fall. Can Moldy Milkers hold on to this Circuit Royale second point? So, this is a pretty good preview of what we're going to see this season of Overbots with these almost Swiss Army knives that each team will have access to in their specialized bots. Reaper going to back out a little bit here. Are they going to be able to sustain through this? So it looks like getting stuck a little bit on the payload is AI. Can Moldy Milkers combo off of this? No, Brig is going to be the first thing to fall in this fight, so very chaotic. If we're going to be able to take out the Moira, but man, what is going on here, guys? Reaper just soloing AI at the moment. I don't know exactly what's happening. Everyone seems to be a little bit stuck. Reaper will take out the Sigma. Okay. Doomfist getting low. Hanzo trying to do his best. Tank 1 will fall, so Moldy Milker's not exactly in a great spot. Here comes the Brig ult, though. Hanzo going to be able to take out the soldier, and what is this chaos we are witnessing on this Circuit Royale? Hanzo able to take out another one. Just doing absolute work, trying to keep his squad in this. Also going to take out, like, 3? He does eventually fall to that orb. Do we see a touch before this team takes the map? I don't think we will, so that will be it. AI will eventually take this map in a very chaotic fight. Going up 2-0 in this series. They are looking quite a bit dominant over this Moldy Milkers squad. We'll see if Moldy Milkers can bring it back here in any future maps. They are going to only have one more opportunity to stay alive in this series. They did look pretty good on the Antarctic Peninsula. They won quite a few fights. Gotta hope for another Koth-related map, I'm going to assume here. They're going to go to Perisu, so not going to get that Koth. Going to go to a hybrid, fortunately. And as we know, Moldy Milkers will have the first offense here, so see if they can get anything done better here on the offense. They are currently down 2-0 in the series. Despite the new roster looks, they are both these teams looking very much similar to how this matchup went in the grand finals. AI so far ahead in this one on match point, looking like they're about to 3-0. And it looks like Zen will be pulled out, and that Winston. If I had to favor any team in this bot matchup, I would say that for sure AI have a definite advantage with the current tank and support picks by the random bots. So going to be rough to push through this one for Moldy Milkers, I think. I will say Moldy Milkers have one of the most DPS oriented teams, right besides mine. Both of our teams are high on the DPS count. We both have triple DPS compositions. Hard to sometimes deal with certain things if you don't have a lot of sustain. But we're going to see how well our teams perform in this league together. Winston and Brig going to be falling here. Sim putting in a little bit of work. Zen will eventually fall, but Reaper not going to be able to keep himself alive for much longer here. And the Sigma and the Soldier are going to work together to finish off the rest of the team. So Sigma, while not the most valuable bot on his own, if he is covering for a hit scan or something, he can be quite useful just to take aggro away. Obviously not as good as some other tanks, but he is certainly a warm body to keep your backline safe. And it's looking like, unfortunately for Moldy Milkers, they are going to get a little bit corralled here. The odds of winning this match are going down heavily for this squad. So, unfortunately for them, they did choose this Winston tank, which has not been historically great in overbots. Not exactly the bot you want to see on your squad. So Perisu looking much more like Circuit Royale than Antarctic Peninsula for this Moldy Milker squad. They are just having a rough time getting into fights here. Ramatra with a great field. Going to result in a teamfight win here for AI. They are looking scary with this double shield composition. Obviously, a lot of teams could end up with double shield if they pick a tank as their bot. But to guarantee it every time by having the ROM and Sigma actually on your team can be quite ridiculous. 4 teams trying to push into you. So here comes the Winston. He is getting a little bit ahead of himself, I think. Sim gonna put some turrets behind. So Winston will be a sacrifice, but not gonna be enough support. The Zen is absolutely frying here. And man, AI looking like a team to beat again here in Overbots. Getting that Rom Doomfist Sigma core, being a triple tank composition, gonna be rough to push through even for a team with as much damage as this Moldy Milkers team does. Having that support bot is going to be very helpful for them too. Soldier, we know what a menace he was for Rush Hour last season. And that is a lot of ults online for AI. Not much of anything going on for Moldy Milkers on the other side. This is looking like a 3-0 wash here. So not a great first showing here for Moldy Milkers this season. We will have to see. Comes the Meteor Strike. It's going to be into the backline. Hanzo able to pick up the Zen. So that is a good start if you want to get something here, but the ultimates on the side. Okay, so some trades coming through here, and only Sigma left on this point, but 2 very low targets he's up against. Okay, so it looks like actually Moldy Milkers will eventually push through on Perisu. Hanzo putting up a masterclass actually to keep his team alive in this one. Gonna stay on that Zen pick. Winston still on this Winston here. Not exactly the greatest pick for a bot's team. However, the rally is going to come out. Going to keep her team alive for a little bit longer. Hanzo absolutely popping off here for Moldy Milkers. Going to find 3. Reaper going to find that Doom in the meantime. And Moldy Milkers eventually going to push through on Perisu on this hybrid point. So it looked like you were certainly going to go down 3-0 without a fight. Turns on its head there for Moldy Milkers a little bit, and they get the job done eventually. So we will see more of Perisu in this AI Moldy Milkers matchup. First game of the season. Here comes the Dragon Strike, just immediately popped. We haven't seen a lot of that since he was on a team with Zarya for a while. Okay. Soldier able to take out the Reaper. Seen a little bit more of that Hanzo's value. It's nice to see. Ramatra gonna fall down here. So, looks like Moldy Milkers are going to just keep pushing. AI kind of getting staggered out here, and great job done by Moldy Milkers to keep themselves in this map. They are going to eventually capture this second point. See if they can keep on moving. Hanzo putting on an absolute masterclass since the first point. Let me look at his stats real quick. Hanzo with 16 elims, easily the most on his squad, easily the most damage in the lobby. He's absolutely put on a show here. At least I think he had the... yeah. He is going to go down, but they did push it this far. He has more than Soldier, doesn't he? Man, he's doing quite a lot of work. But a little spawn camp will come out here from AI. Obviously, some ultimates have built up here. Doomfist going to get into this backline. Trying to just keep himself alive here. Will eventually fall. Haven't seen quite a few ultimates come out for the side of AI yet. They have still been holding on to this Gravitic Flux, as well as the Transcendence and the Aimbot. Have to see if they eventually decide to pop those, or if they're just going to keep on holding on. We will see a regroup here. Oh, Ramatra going to go in a little deep alone. He is going to pop that. Ult does go down fairly quickly, though. Brig going to be the only one to fall. That Sigma ult was quite awful, but the Zen ultimate will keep his team alive. Soldier gonna pick off 2 here, so AI gonna start to hold here. The Orisa pick is excellent though for the side of Moldy Milkers. If they can capitalize off of this, here she comes. Gonna pick off that Zen, and the Soldier. She is very low back here though, so she could easily fall to this doom. Reaper gonna get in. Brig going to come help. Ramatra getting very low from this Reaper. Sim able to take out Sigma and Doom. And eventually, Moldy Milkers are going to start pushing through here on Perisu. I think. Maybe not. They are getting off this point a little bit. Okay, they do regain this touch. Now we have a Brigmere for the solo supports. Here comes the Dragon Strike. It is going to find the Sigma. Not going to kill him off though. AI pushing in now. They do find that Hanzo and the Brig. And only thing left here for the side of Moldy Milkers will be that Orisa. So now you have the spot you need to hold. Can you capitalize here for Moldy Milkers? Struggling a lot on that first point. However, at the last possible second, they were able to push through. Now they do have a win condition here on Perisu. Let's see if they can do it. We'll have to see which tank and support are picked for this lineup, for these 2 lineups. That last slot is a very interesting one to have here in Overbots. It creates some different scenarios depending on what teams go with. Sometimes they can go with some really S tier picks, and other times with some lower tier picks, so it creates a little bit of spice in the standings. We will see the Brig versus Brig again here. However, coming out with that Orisa is a very strong pick. You've got to be feeling good if you are Moldy Milkers about that one. That is one of the best tanks we have in Overbots, so it is nice to see it on your side for the time being. Gonna see if they can manage to get a full hold here. Keep their hopes in this series alive. Hanzo absolutely putting on a masterclass in that first point. As you can see, he has the most damage in this lobby by far, putting out a ton of value. When you look at things like Sigma, maybe not putting in the most value, but he isn't dying a whole lot for his team. Blocking quite a bit of damage too. So while some bots aren't exactly the most impactful in terms of damage, they might provide some other value to their squad, like this Sigma does. That just made that push a little bit harder there. Doomfist gonna hold up his block. The shield will come out, and this is looking like a very good push so far for AI. However, some of the members are gonna fall here. Reaper doing a good job. Orisa doing an excellent job, gonna pick off 2. So Moldy Milkers able to sustain despite their health bars getting very low in that fight. Good job so far. This is what you need to see if you want to get back into the series against AI. When you look at this AI roster, you really start to realize that minus the Kiri and the Hog from last season, you almost have the same roster coming through here for them. Very good hold here coming out from Moldy Milkers. So 2 holds down. Only going to need a couple more if you want to win. However, that Zen swap, that is a big swap if you are AI here. They do have one of the best supports in the league now on their squad, helping them in this push. However, on the other side, like we know, Moldy Milkers do have that Orisa, just really helping them lock down this Perisu. Doomfist gonna go in very deep, half HP. Brig gonna fall first. So AI able to find 1, but the picks are all going to Moldy Milkers here now. And this is looking more and more like there could be a full hold coming in for this Moldy Milkers team. They're doing a very good job on this hold. Only going to be a couple more attempts left. in AI's tank. Fortunately for the AI squad, they do already lead the series 2-0, so it's going to be a little bit more of a mountain to climb for Moldy Milkers other than just this one map if they want to take this series. So comes the Dragon Strike. Does get an enormous value, however, on the other side, AI is picking up all the kills, and they will eventually push through here with their soldier, placing his team on his back. Looks like AI are going to swap that support, so despite using that Zen to push initially, they are going to get off of it. Oops, past the spawn. Nice. I'm sorry, guys. So we are going to see the Kiri. So this is now essentially basically last season's Moldy Milkers minus Roadhog. Alright, tank 1. Orisa putting in some serious value for the team of Moldy Milkers. They are able to find that fight win. Going to be able to push this Sigma out. AI looking to re-engage here. Also going to be able to push out the Sigma. Most likely he will fall to his own hubris. Brig gonna fall though. Big Reaper ult coming through here. Not gonna find much of anything, but he still did pop it. Ram gonna get very low and eventually fall. So AI looking close to that Sigma ultimate. They have the soldier ult online. The other side, not much of anything. Sigma gonna eat up a lot of damage there as he comes through. Hanzo able to find the Kiri. However, Hanzo getting very low. He will fall to the soldier. Not gonna mean too much though, as they do eventually push him out. Moldy Milker's doing an excellent job on this defense on Perisu. Ramatra gonna fall down. It might be a little bit of a misplay there. He does fall very quickly for it. Let me go check something real quick. Okay. Alright. So here comes the Flux. It will solo ult on this Brig. She does survive for now, but Soldier eventually going to rip through that health pool with his aimbot. So a trade. Don't know which side's favoring here. Tank is getting very low on the side of Moldy Milker, so the tank will eventually go down here, and the trades are slowly starting to favor, well, slowly starting to favor AI is what I was going to say. But some picks coming out here. Oh, Mercy. Random Mercy swap. Gonna pull out the Glock here. Reaper and Sim still alive. Mercy gonna be able to pick off that Sim. And eventually, this AI squad is going to get the payload moving once more. Orisa has been a huge boon for this Moldy Milker squad, as the tank did swap to it. So that is a very lucky play. Mercy not going to be the most impactful hero, but the res was nice. Keep the Sigma up, even though the Sigma is probably one of the least worthwhile reses you have. Orisa getting very low on this point. Here comes the Doom ultimate. However, Hanzo with a massive Dragon Strike plus the Orisa ult does mean Moldy Milkers are going to be able to more than likely... Yep, Moldy Milkers are going to be more than likely able to win this map. Come back into the series a little bit. Going 1-2 at the very least here. So, good start here of the reverse sweep if you want to make that happen for Moldy Milkers. They are going to win, or need to win, a couple more maps. Huge swap by their tank to that Orisa. They did have Winston on that offense. Didn't look very great, but on the defense with the horse, it went much smoother for them. Have to see how these supports and tanks, the support bot of AI adapts and Moldy Milkers. We are going to go straight into another hybrid here. So we're going to see AI on the defense again first. They did have a very good defense on parries, who just barely falling over. The Moldy Milkers were able to take advantage from there. Here on Hybrid, not too sure what to expect from these squads. We'll have to see what the support and tank choose once more. Has a massive impact on the direction of these matches. So we'll see what the support is going to opt for here. And the tank. Support is going to opt for Lucio. Okay, so we're going to see Lucio on Numbani here. And Zarya. Okay, so Zarya has created some problems in the past for Overbots, so could see a lack of Hanzo ultimates coming out here. We'll have to see. Maybe in 5v5 she will start using those ults a little bit more. Hopefully the bug has passed. Maybe eventually we will see these Zarya ults coming through. I'm hoping we do. I could see her being a great boon for the squad, though, if she is successfully using that ult and stuff. Could be a good attack coming through here for Moldy Milkers. Have a chance in the series to tie it up 2-2 here on this Numbani. Here come Moldy Milkers. Looks like they are going to be headed directly down main. Gonna get held up a little bit by the shield. Doomfist with a massive punch. Ramatra gonna go in and clean up the rest of the squishies, and very clean fight win for AI to start. Soldier pumping in damage. As you can see from the stats, he's already up to 782. Let's start by him. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired here. Looks like they are going to push through this bottom room. Sorry, you're going to get pushed out a little bit. Brig going to fall. Soldier also going to be able to take out that Hanzo. Ram going to take out the Zarya. Sim turrets coming through here. Going to shred through these turrets. And the Lucio. Eventually, though, Moldy Milkers are going to be forced to retreat again. And go next onto this offense. Hasn't been ideal yet for them. Have been pretty much rooted by this Moldy Milkers, or AI squad, I mean. Oh my word. Like I said, it's going to be really hard for me to get my team straight. I'm used to this triple tank composition looking thing being the Moldy Milkers, but it is now AI. Hanzo going around the side here. He's going to get on the soldier. Going to pick him off. So, looks like a little bit of a start here for Moldy Milkers. However, Sigma able to pick up the Sim. Just Sigma and Rom, though. And we know how much Reaper can do here. Is going to get pushed out a little bit, though. So despite... Oh, okay. So Sigma and Rom actually able to pick off that Reaper. Despite Rom being very low HP. And Sigma not being a very useful bot usually. They will eventually win that fight. Only a minute 47 left on this clock here, so gonna have to be kind of concerned if you are Moldy Milkers, if you're even gonna be able to take first point. Brig gonna get very low, gonna fall here. Zen gonna go down, so I didn't even notice that swap came through, but there is now a Zen on the board. See if they swap again instead of that Lucio. Okay, now he's gonna stay on that. So looks like the tanks tend to stick to their pick a little bit more than the support. The support seems to be swapping roles quite a bit, which has been working out so far, especially with that Zen. That Zen is going to be a really big boon with that Discord Orb. Here comes the Meteor Strike. It's going to be in there. The Rom ult is going to come out as well, and this is going to spell mostly disaster for Moldy Milkers, as they do get routed by this Rom ultimate. Huge Rom ultimate, picking off 4 members of AI, or not, Moldy Milkers. Oh my gosh, huge AI ultimate. Picking off 4 members of Moldy Milkers. I am so sorry. Like I said, I am so used to this core being on the side of Moldy Milkers that whenever I see Ramatra getting picks, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Moldy Milkers. But no, this is AI now. Alright, here we go. I'm going to swap back to that Lucio. So, short stint on that Zen, and he decides, nah, I'm going back to Lucio. Lucio going to get picked off immediately, though. Some trades coming through here for AI. They are doing an excellent job on this defense. Only going to be Sim alive And that might just be it. I don't think we're going to see another touch here. Unfortunate here for the side of Moldy Milkers as they do get full held on this Numbani. Probably going to spell a 3-1 here for the side of AI. Great start to the season for the defending champions, so they more than likely will be able to push through this. So Moldy Milkers able to take a map. However, not quite able to get the job done as AI look to come out of this one with a 3-1 victory. And this will be the only match I do tonight. Just a little prelude to what the season will look like for us. Kind of an okay matchup though. Did look at times like maybe Moldy Milkers could come back into this one. They did a very good job on Perisu. Despite almost getting full health, they did manage to regroup and push very well. Unfortunately, for the side of Moldy Milkers, you are once again going to see the Zarya pick come through, and she has kind of messed with their ultimates quite a bit. Gotta be concerned if you're picking that tank bot. If you do end up with the Zarya, seems to create more issues than solve, as she doesn't use that ultimate, and it can kind of mess with some other ultimates in your team. We did not see any ultimates come out of Moldy Milkers, I don't believe. So AI gotta be at a little bit of an advantage here, I think. Have to see though. All they need to do now is take a tick to claim a 3-1 series over Moldy Milkers to start Overbots Season 3. We're getting very low. And that is looking like it's going to be it. Oh, wait. Can they touch this point? They do. They do get the Doom. Okay, so they will hold. Symmetric getting a ton of value. Let's see, what is their damage looking like here? 3,000. Her and Soldier looking around the same amount of value. So excellent, fantastic hold coming out from Sim and Reaper. Going to keep this squad alive in the series. However, all they can hope for on this map is a draw. So you got to keep that in mind. AI looking for another engagement here. Sorry, you're going to be beaming down this Sigma. He is going to get very low. He's going to go down. Support going to be able to trade out that Brig, however. Lots of low health bars for the side of AI. Symmetra just putting in some absolute work here with the Zarya on defense. Gonna go in for another quick re-engage with this Lucio. It's gonna be a great boon to have that Lucio on your team. Alright, here they come. Great push by this AI squad, and it looks like they will eventually claim this map. More than likely. And yes, they probably just will. Reaper, the last one standing on the point. A valiant effort put up by Moldy Milkers, but eventually they will fall to AI once more. AI, fortunately for you, Moldy Milkers, you are no longer in the same division of this team that has had your number since last season. So maybe Moldy Milkers will be able to do something greater in their own division this year. But AI still have your number, and they go up 3-1 to win this one. First match of Overbots Season 3, gonna go the way of AI in the rematch of last season's grand finale. It was lovely to see you guys again here today. Hope you enjoyed the match. And I'll be uploading this one to YouTube. I think I'm going to do this one listed, so maybe some other folks will be able to see this. The previous 2 seasons of Overbots was, in fact, primarily unlisted offline, so just a thing we do with our friends. It's kind of funny. But AI going to take off the first series 3-1. And that will be that.